New Mexico Magazine is your source for all things that set the Land of Enchantment apart from any other place in the world.
New Mexico's unique history, culture, awe-inspiring natural wonders, movers, shakers, and entertainment are exquisitely showcased within the pages of this monthly magazine that has a circulation of 93,000.
Right, and if you're not a subscriber, you can still pick up a copy because the July issue hits stands tomorrow. New Mexico Magazine Editor-in-Chief Dave Herndon joins us with a sneak peek of what's inside. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for having me.
We're glad to have you on this morning and excited to talk about the magazine.
Oh yes, definitely. New Mexico Magazine is 90 years old. And the magazine got its start as the official New Mexico Highway Department newsletter, so clearly it's evolved over the years. And you took over as editor-in-chief about a year ago. What is your vision for New Mexico Magazine?
Well, our mission is to celebrate that best that the state has to offer for visitors and residents alike. Two-thirds of our subscribers actually live out of state, so it's a way for them to keep in touch and make vacation plans for when they do come back and visit. And of course, for people who live here, they want to know what to go and see and do, as well.
Sure.
That's really interesting. Two-thirds are actually out of state.
It's a very important memento for a lot of people, like a souvenir of how strongly they feel about the state.
Of course.
I love it. Now let's talk about the July issue. One of the feature stories is a behind-the-scenes look at the Santa Fe Opera, which is still going strong in its 55th season.
That's right.
And we're hearing that all 5 productions of this summer's opera season are new. What else will readers learn in the article, Arias and the Stars?
Well, it's basically a backstory about the founding of the opera 55 years ago, basically by a gentleman named John Crosby, who had a vision to establish a world-class opera in Santa Fe, which 55 years ago, Santa Fe was not really on the map, and that probably seemed a little bit like an out there idea at the time, right? But he was, of course, very successful. He was very driven. He was very talented. He had financial resources, and he was also able to enlist the support of the 20th century's greatest composer, Igor Stravinsky, who was very instrumental in the early years of the opera.
Yes.
So we learned that backstory, and there's just enough dish to keep it, to spice it up and give you a sense of what these people were really like, because there are people around. We have an interview with a woman who sang on opening night, and she has these very fond memories of what it was like in the early days. So it's easy to take things like this for granted when you live here, like, oh, the Santa Fe Opera, yeah, it's always been there,
it's
right?
It's a place out there,
yeah.
Right.
But no, it wasn't always there. Somebody had the idea and made it happen.
There's a really neat story
Well,
behind it all.
another summer tradition in Santa Fe is the Spanish Market. And Spanish Market Week is July 23rd to the 29th. And the July issue features a number of artists. What can we expect to see?
Well, I mean, as you know, that's obviously not the Spanish Market. That's a picture of from the Gallup International. But the Spanish Market, this Hispanic culture here, of course, is rich, centuries old, is unique in the United States of America and the world. And what you can see at the Spanish Market is the evolution of that culture from sort of the very traditional, religiously based iconography of that artwork, which is still a very vital, art form. And you also see the evolution into the more contemporary, sort of iconoclastic art that you might see at the contemporary Spanish Market, which is having its 25th anniversary this summer. So they're side by side, and what you can really see is the evolution of this incredible cultural asset that is unique in the United States. And if you want to take home a memento, you can buy a piece of art that's not just a typical souvenir from a
that you stick on your refrigerator.
Right. No, it's going to have something that's important and memorable.
Oh, we love that. Now we're also learning that in July's issue that Albuquerque is a mecca for international elite runners. What's the draw here? That's so cool.
Well, I understand you're an elite runner.
Not elite. I try to run. Maybe jogger might be a better, more appropriate word for me.
Well, it's all good for joggers and elite runners alike, and obviously the altitude training here makes you stronger because of the high altitude. But we have compared to other high altitude places, we have a milder winter. So those
That's
are
true.
that people can train year-round. Also, there's a lack of humidity, even if it's hot. There's a lack of humidity. So
That helps.
those are all leading factors. I think the natural beauty of the area has a lot to do with it too, because let's face it, long distance running is boring. And if you go into, to the Sandia foothills,
Sure.
you're going to have a lot of stimulation, and it's going to be a beautiful experience. And interestingly, a lot of the Kenyan runners say that
That's right.
that the terrain reminds them of East Africa, and so they have a little bit of sense of home and familiarity.
so
And I think
cool.
that's a really great note, isn't it?
That
It
is
is. It's
fantastic.
really
New
neat.
Mexico is, I mean, it's just an amazing place. It really is the land of enchantment.
I hated running until I moved here. This is when I started running, and I actually halfway kind of like it now. And it's just because of New Mexico.
Well,
It really
maybe
is.
there's no coincidence. New Mexicans are always on the move. Tell us what you're featuring in the magazine's Going Places section.
Going Places is a monthly sort of overview of some of the activities and destinations around the state. So this time out, we're talking, isn't that a great picture? We're talking about guest ranches. I understand that dude ranches is not exactly the right term for all of them.
Okay.
But,
Okay.
Not all do
gives you a little cowboy culture,
Okay.
and places to go and things to do with, with family friendly, and gives you that authentic Western experience that you can have in New Mexico that, again, sets it apart from so many other places.
Yeah.
That's cool.
We're also talking about rock climbing, which is probably one of your favorite sports.
I absolutely do. I love to rock climb.
Really?
It's well, if you like to climb on things, I was always a kid climbing on furniture and stuff, so I naturally gravitated to climbing on.
Right. I have no
rocks.
desire to climb, but there are a
I'll let
lot.
you know
There
about
are,
it.
as you've noticed, there are a lot of rocks around. So
Sure.
it actually is a place that's a little under the radar as far as the national climbing.
Shiprock, Bandelier, good places to go
yeah,
rock
but
climbing.
it's like a place that, for the people that are core, they feel like they're onto something really good already. And then, of course, there's enough terrain out there to share it. So to get the word out about the great rock climbing venues.
Some lakes here.
Then, of course, you guys
We
were
do
just
have
talking
water.
about. We
Yes, we
have
do.
water. There's the cover. I don't know if you showed the cover yet, but it's a beautiful water shot on Cochise
That's
Lake. But
gorgeous.
this is obviously Elephant Butte and the Blue Hole. And you were talking about the heat. Here it comes.
Yeah.
Beat the
I, for
heat.
one, do want to go jump in a lake. When it gets up towards 100.
Well, one of my favorite parts of New Mexico Magazine is one of our 50 is missing. It's hilarious. For our viewers who don't know what I'm talking about, can you please explain what that is?
Okay, that one of our 50 is a monthly feature that is extremely popular year in and year out, and it's anecdotes that readers share of incidents that they have when they confront people who don't know that New Mexico is a state. So one of our 50 states is missing, and it's kind of shocking. The letters keep coming in,
Oh,
even
sure.
though, and so, sometimes you think maybe a customer service representative in New Delhi might, okay, you can give them
Right.
a break. But really, there's a shocking number of people who are like teachers, law students, postal workers in the United States. I mean, it's
I've got
very sad.
stories for you. I have stories
Please
for
send
you.
them in.
From America, beauty product. 4 times I got a letter that said they couldn't ship it to me. They don't ship that
Exactly.
product outside of the
Well,
United States.
we have a letter coming up in the August issue from someone who has a T-shirt that says, has the map of the state. It says
course.
it's not new and it's not Mexico.
I love it. Well, what is your favorite part of the magazine?
Well, that's a very tough question. It's like a Sophie's choice because I love all my children, but. But, I love the destination pieces because, I'm relatively new to the state myself, and I love finding out about places like Silver City and Ruidoso, God bless them, hope they're doing well down there, and, other corners of the state. This year we've been doing a centennial retrospective of people who really put their stamp on the state and made it what it is that we experience today. I've talked about John Crosby at the opera, but he's in a long line of people. The original artists of Santa Fe, again,
Georgia O'Keeffe.
didn't just happen. Exactly. Georgia O'Keeffe, we did a big story on her. The original artists of Santa Fe, the John Galmeen, the architect who gives this state its look and its identity architecturally. We have a piece coming up in the August issue about a gentleman named Lloyd Kiva New who started the IAIA Indian School. These people were visionary, talented, visionary giants of the 20th century who, again, came here had a vision, did what it took to get it done, and we reap the benefits really on a daily basis. But 5 minutes from this building, I'm sure you could see a ton of John Gummy architecture, and you know, and so that's the stuff that I'm most proud of about what we're doing this year, and then I hope to get a little more active and outdoorsy myself.
Well, you have to tell us where our viewers can go for more information.
You can go to nmmagazine.com. It's our website. And we also have a presence on Facebook, very lively, something like 6,000 Facebook likes.
Wow. And where can we pick up a magazine?
We can pick up the magazine at convenience stores, newsstands, wherever you shop. Please do look for it.
Okay.
Yeah, come and find us on NM Magazine if you don't see us there, and make sure you subscribe, and you want to send gift subscriptions to your friends and family who live elsewhere.
Hey, well, thank you for being here.
All right.
Thank you so much.